I want to give you some thoughts when it comes to being a leader and being a woman who is a leader in a culture that really kind of doesn't want you to do that. And in an internal set point that you've learned to try to imitate the external. And you don't need to do that. But that may feel like the biggest challenge of your life. Let me tell you about why feminine is so strong. When you think about what the feminine does, it cares about the community. It is extremely strategic. It looks at all of the different things that need to get done. If you just look at a woman who is running a household, plus holding down a job, plus doing a marriage, that alone is a hell of a lot. And it requires different kinds of strengths, and a lot of them are feminine. The emotional is definitely a part of raising kids, right? Having to be able to connect with them, doing a job, have to have the emotional, because you have to understand how to navigate those external waters that are so ridiculous. They've been really just put on all of us, women and men alike, in a toxic form. So we can't run around going, oh, men are horrible. What we can say is the toxic masculine is horrible, because it's just the truth. The toxic masculine looks like work as hard as you possibly can until you fall down and die. That's its extreme expression. And depending on your personality, you either just go full bore into it because you are perfectionist about how you do things and you want to get it right, or you go, screw that, I'm doing something else. And interestingly, the men and women, and especially the men who've said, I'm not going to do that, are, here's one for you. The director, Steven Spielberg, dropped out of school. He dropped out of school. He said, I know what I love to do, and I know that this is what I'm going to be doing. You know how he did that? You have to have a vision and an emotional tie to that vision, feeling that it is you. That vision is you, not just a good idea. And that vision part and that emotional connection part, that's the feminine. Women are really hardwired to lead. We truly are. And to do it in a way that holds both the masculine and the feminine. And does this world need some practice at finally having both the masculine and the feminine together in one room in terms of creating leadership styles, business styles? Yes, of course we do. You betcha. But it's not that the whole thing is unknown. So I want to invite you to come to a workshop that I'm putting on. It is a 90-minute workshop on July 2nd. And it is going to be from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's July 2nd. And I am dubbing this Women's Independence Day because it's close to the 4th. And you know what? The feminine is coming out now because we're in such an evolutionary time. And what is coming forward is such a clear need for the feminine, for compassion, for inspiration, intuition. All of these years that all the great spiritual beings have said you should meditate, that's not a masculine pursuit. The masculine pursuit is the forward movement, the goal, right? The toxic masculine is like beat yourself to death till you get there. The feminine is allowing. And so we women who are out here trying to be entrepreneurs and create businesses tend to make this terrible mistake where we try to run our new businesses as though they are little mini corporations, and we are the world's worst bosses to ourselves. And then we wonder why we don't get anywhere. And it's because we're trying to be that toxic masculine bird with one wing. And that's a giant step away from who we are. Just a giant step away from who we are. And we're already a giant step away. When we're working for other people and we're having to be polite when somebody is being abusive, honestly. You know, there's a lot in the outside world that makes us feel like I can't be me. I'm on a mission to tell you, you sure as hell can be you. And I can help you be you. And that's why I'm offering this workshop, because I'm going to show you how you can use two major things to move yourself forward. And one is acting. No, you're not going to go on stage and become an actor, but you can improv as ways of practicing, secretly feel you are that badass that you've always felt you truly are. You can use these exercises, and this is what I'm going to walk us through in the workshop. That's one of the big pieces. The other piece is the intuitive, inspirational, the visioning, the feeling. It definitely includes emotion and the mind connected together. So we're going to talk about these amazing ways that we can use both the action of coming out of our norms, even just a little bit, because the little bits are actually huge. So trying to be really big about changes actually doesn't work very well. It's counterproductive, which you might doubt, and I wouldn't be surprised because I would have doubted the hell out of it for a long time. But I found that it completely transformed my emotional state and my quality of life. And that's what I want for all of us. That's what I want for every single one of us. Now, this particular workshop called Can You See Me Now? This particular one is for women only. I will be holding another that's for both women and men, but this one is for women only. Okay? That's on July 2nd, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put it in your calendar and go to here. Let me see if I've got it here on the captions and see if, I don't have the, let me put the link in here. There we go. I love how easy stuff is anymore. Okay, so you can sign up with the link that's there. You are going to come out of this with a very different perspective of the so-called reality around us. We tend to think that it's all there is. We can't change it. We can't go beyond it. I'm so happy to tell you that that's not true. And you will be so happy to show yourself that your identity is actually bigger than you thought it was. And you can get as big with that thing as you want. And that it is not all about you being a screw up. It's not about you having traumas and that you haven't healed yet. All of that stuff about traumas, you need to take care of. If it is on you, if it is stopping you, if you are focused on it and it's not letting you move, you do have to look for your answers and you do have to find them. I have some. I'm not going to cover them in this particular workshop, but I healed 40 years of clinical depression with one of them. So I've got some really powerful ways that really bridge our normal human ways of living with the energetic, which is coming in fast and furious, you guys. And the energy is the feminine. It just is. And when we learn how to work with it and when we learn how to utilize it to shift what's happening inside, what happens for us outside is it shifts the nature of what's happening there. It draws to us more of what we want as we learn that feminine, fabulous thing of allowing instead of that toxic masculine of pushing too hard, demanding that things be what we want. And it makes everything so much more enjoyable. Come to the workshop, July 2nd, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there, and I wish you love and moxie. Bye, guys.